But other than that, even Xi Jinping
Hmm.
could not bring himself to veto the UN Security Council resolution condemning the invasion. He just abstained.
Hmm.
And we can,
Right. So that's a big deal.
it's a big deal. It tells
Hmm.
you that what Putin has done is even Xi is going, Vova, I'm not sure that I can actually support you on this, the way you've done this. There's just
Hmm.
no cover. Putin has given himself no cover.
Hmm.
And so
Hungary.
even the Hungarians supported kicking him out of SWIFT.
And so let's go into the SWIFT issue to some degree because
Yeah.
people won't know what that is and why
So
it's important.
it's very complicated and it is in some respects overblown.
Hmm.
SWIFT is a European consortium that is the means by which banks communicate with one another to do bank-to-bank transfers. And if you are kicked out of SWIFT, then you have to find other ways of communicating with banks in order to do bank-to-bank transfers. There are other ways.
But it's harder.
It's much harder. It's much more.
Hmm.
It's much slower. It's more. It introduces all kinds of friction into bank-to-bank transactions, which is important because the Russians rely on dollar reserves for their reserves, and when they have challenges interacting with the dollar market globally, it's a big problem for them, and getting them interfering with their ability to use SWIFT makes that much harder for them.
So it makes it harder for them to do what? So they
It
can't
makes
get
it harder for
access to
them
money.
to move money around,
Hmm.
including to reclaim money that is abroad, or to move money to buy things or various other things that states do and that individuals try to do using banks and so on. It just throws a huge amount of sand in the gears of all of that.
Do the Russians use SWIFT to move money between the banks in Russia, or is that all international?
I don't know how they do it within Russia. I'm
Okay.
sure they
Okay.
can
Okay.
work that out internally, but
Right.
it's getting abroad is a whole other story.
Okay.
But important
Okay.
as SWIFT is, actually the sanctions on the Russian central bank are even more important, because SWIFT is just a means of communication, and it is important. And I'm glad that we've gotten people around on that for the most part. But we've got the EU imposing sanctions on the central bank. That's a big deal. That's a very
Why?
big deal because
What does that mean, and why is it?
it can make it hard to impossible for the Russian central bank actually to play on the dollar market and to engage in the dollar economy, which is a problem because the global economy remains fundamentally a dollar economy. And as
Mhm.
the ruble is predictably collapsing as this is going on, in fact, there's a joke going around. Russians from the Soviet days and even before have a very dark sense of humor, and they excel at that, as I'm sure you know. But one joke going around as soon as the invasion began was, um, "Could you kindly tell us that before you invade somebody else the next time, so we can buy dollars?"
Right.
So Russians need dollars, and sanctioning the central bank makes it hard to impossible for the Russian government to deal in dollars and to interact in that way.
And how long will it take the consequences of that to unfold in some way that actually bites, particularly on the military front?
Well, I mean, okay. The problem is, I don't know that it will bite on the military front, because we need to keep something in mind, that a lesson that we learned from the Soviet Union. A dictatorship can generally do any one thing that it decides to do. When you're running a country, the resources that are available to you, sanctions notwithstanding, you can usually choose any one thing and actually make that happen. So the Soviet military threat, for example, reached its height at the same time as the Soviet economy began to go into terminal decline in the 1980s. Those two facts were probably related to one another, and with some causality, by the way. Putin has a similar phenomenon here. I think he probably can keep his military going, but what's going to happen is the Russian economy will collapse. I don't know exactly what that means, but will be badly harmed.